This week on Makers Lab TV, a screen stand for better posture, a personalized jewellery box, and spicing up a shop window display.
I had a really cool project to work on today. I had to come up with an idea to put a screen from your desk on a stand and hide the keyboard away when needing to work on the desk to save space. On top of this box we have a cool design that was meant for a designer, and she wanted something with a lot of creativity built into it. So the top of this is built in with lots of different ideas, like we've got light bulbs going on here, we have paint brushes, pens, paper, the symbol for fonts. So some really cool ideas sitting there. And then we have the rest of the box with a piece inside for the keyboard to slide away. The main reason behind this project was that the designer had read a case study that the height of your desk and your screen is incorrect, as it causes back pain and neck pain, so she says. So today we're doing this out of MDF, as the designer had seen it made in metal, but we're going to try it out of MDF and see how it goes, because we have a laser engraver and we want to put some creativity behind it.
I was commissioned by a client to create two very special pieces of jewelry for him, namely rings, and he wanted something to make a statement when he goes out there that people remember him not only from his attitude but also from his jewelry. So I made these really chunky pieces for him. As we all know, in the high-end world of perfumes, jewelry, clothing, your presentation is very important, and I decided to come to Landford Agencies, to Riley, and asked him to put his creative juices in flow and come up with equally as special boxes for these very special pieces.
Once the design was confirmed, we needed to move to the production process. For that, we needed to go to the laser engraver. On the laser engraver, we moved to cutting out the main design on the outside of the box first, which was the floral design. And that we did out of a dark, nice walnut veneered wood.
Creating shop window display wraps looks like a ton of fun, but pleasing the client, well, that's a job all on its own.
I took the initial brief from the client, understanding the brand concepts that they were looking for. We identified that the client wanted to keep elements of the historic retail trading that was experienced specifically in the Indian community, but bring a new look and feel and a new fresh vibe to this new store.
We had 36 panels to use two different types of materials, Contravision and a non-see-through material. The Contravision went onto the lower panels and the non-see-through material went onto the higher panels. So the design was actually very nice. We handled it quite well after back and forwards for the client approval. We eventually came out with a nice trendy looking shop, upmarket quality, using certain products that they have in the shop, but not making it look like your normal shop where they put a whole bunch of products on it, but really nice and trendy.
Using the TruCUT laser machine from AM.CO.za, Riley starts the cutting process for the computer screen stand. Pietro has opted for personal touches on the jewellery box to enhance the overall aesthetics of the work of art. And then it's just a matter of putting all the pieces together. Meanwhile, Leah started the printing of the shop window wrap, making use of 2 large format printers from AM.CO.za.
From the design going to print, we used 2 different types of material, controvision and a solid type of printing onto a solid vinyl. The controvision went onto the lower side of the panels and the solid vinyl went onto the top side of the panels. Reason why we use controvision is so that while you're inside the shop you can still look out, from obviously a safety aspect, as well as it brings in a certain amount of light as well. 2 different types of materials, 2 different types of substrates allowed us to use 2 different printers, as we didn't have to get the RGB colors correctly, the profiles, so we were allowed to play around with the 2 different types of machines.
Now it's time to clean and glue all the components of the screen stand together and do any final adjustments before presenting to the client.
And there you have it, a completed screen stand for the desk and where the keyboard slides in. Now let's hope the customer's happy.
Really good, love it. Perfect angle for my neck. My neck's not going to get sore anymore. And you've got all the space for my other goodies, and my keyboard can be pushed away so that I got more desk space. I love it, thank you. Awesome.
The jewellery box is starting to take shape, and with a few final touches, it's ready for presentation. But will the client be happy?
Obviously I need to get my brand across, so every time he looks at this very special box, it's got my brand on there. So Riley's done a very, very good job at making sure that my presence and my brand presence is there. The box was specially designed for these pieces and as one-off boxes, yeah, very, very special work done by Lanford.
The application itself was a dry application, not a wet application. So it was a non-windy day, which was beautiful, and the application went through absolutely seamlessly due to the fact that we had prepared everything prior.
Things are looking really good here, but in the end, it's all about pleasing the client, right? So what about that?
Customer is absolutely ecstatic with the final product. It came out beautiful. We are now going to be branding a few items in the shop to the same feel and look as the outside.
In 2020, we celebrate 8 years in business, heading toward infinity and beyond. AM.CO.za. Achievement matters.